Happy Sunday, stampers and paper crafters. This is Facebook Live number 424. It is Sunday, August 10th, 2025. My name is Joy Borwedge, and I'm an independent Stampin' Up! Demonstrator. I live in Burnsville, Minnesota, and I have been a demonstrator since August of 1999. I have an absolutely gorgeous card for you tonight, and I can't wait to share it with you. I'm going to put you down at the table in just a second. If you get motion sickness or anything like that, look away, and I'll let you know when I am done messing around with the camera. So hold on. So hopefully everybody had a great weekend so far. And okay, I'm just going to loosen this up. I should say untighten. I'm going to loosen this up and turn this down to the table. All right. And tighten it up a little bit there. Squish in. Get some light on the subject. I think we're good, right? Are we good? Am I centered? All right. I think we're good. Okay. So again, my name is Joy Borwedge. I have an Instagram page at Stampin' for Joy. My YouTube page is Joy A. Borwedge. And my online store is stampinforjoy.stampinup.net. Penguin Z33. Hi, Tina. Hey, Judy. I got two ladies at the same time. Yay! Penguin Z33 at Outlook.com is my email address. That if you don't have a demonstrator that you're working with, you can request a catalog from me, and I would love to send you one. And let's see, Facebook. My Facebook page is Stampin' for Joy. So what happens is my Facebook page, Joy Borwedge, is recording this, and I am going to take a picture of today's project. Actually, I think I need to move this again a little bit more towards me. All right, there we go. I think now I'm done messing around with the camera. All right, so where was I? So I took a picture of the project today, and I posted on Instagram. And then, how you doing, ladies? How is your Sunday going? And then I take the Facebook Live and I transfer it to my Stampin' for Joy page, and then I download it onto my YouTube page. Just because Facebook Lives do not last more than 30 days, and I want to give everybody a chance to watch my videos and get a chance to get entered into the prize. Now, as I've been saying lately, my husband's been in the hospital way too much, and so I'm not spending money on anything that is not essential. So I need to buy stamps and get everybody's cards in the mail, but right now that's just a little not on the priority, and so I just hope everybody has patience and you'll get your cards. All right, and we, my girlfriends and I, are putting on an event. I think this is going to be number 42 or 43, and this is going to be the in-person event. And this is going to be November 1st, and it's a Saturday, and you will go home making 16 cards. And just to let you know that I have gotten my cards all made up for my stamp camp that happens to be not this Friday, but next Friday, Saturday and Sunday. And if you are on my email, I sent you an invitation, and I would love for you to come if you are local. Here is one of the cards that we're going to be making at my stamp camp, and this is featuring the Sunflower 3D embossing folder, and it also features the not 21 anymore, or 29, not 29 anymore stamp set. So I'm not going to show you the inside, but I just wanted to show you one of the cards that you would be making if you happen to attend my stamp camp. All right, and what's going on with that stamp camp is you make 4 cards, and if you RSVP by the 15th, I think it is, you get to make an extra card for free. And if you place an order of $50 or more, the stamp camp is free. or it's 20 bucks. So it's your choice. And for every dollar you spend in the catalog, you get to pick out my retired product for the same amount and pay half off. So for instance, if your subtotal is $60, you get to pick $60 out of my retired stash and then only pay 30 bucks for it. So, I mean, it's a great deal because these items have been marked down already, and then you're also paying half off. So that is my stamp camp coming up. So RSVP, if you are local, I would love to have you. Let's see. So lately I have been showcasing my past Facebook Lives. Now this is Facebook Live number 11. And so let's see here. Here's my Facebook Lives that I started out with. And tonight, let's see, Facebook Live number 11. I happen to skip number 12. This is number 12. 12 is kind of boring. And so I'm just like, yeah, we're just going to skip it. I mean, it's kind of pretty. But I thought, you know what, I'd show it. We're going to skip it. And we're going to do another card for today. But anyways, so because my Facebook Lives have been deleted, I have been updating them. And so I took the idea from this card and I, cased myself. I could have copied it exactly, but I decided to make it even prettier. And that is the inside of the card. I stamped it with the cloud cover and then used the two, let's see, this is designer series paper and this is basic white cardstock. And so what I did is I shifted them all a little bit over to the right, and then it gives that really cool shadow. And then a piece of designer series paper, die cut actually. So this is Facebook Live number 423. If you wish to go back and look at it, I am going to show you what Facebook Live we're copying today. And this is Facebook Live number 14. And so I took this card, and I happen to have loved this stamp set and the dies and the designer series paper. I mean, this was an awesome suite. So today we are going to recreate this card using new products. And well, products from the current catalog. But I'm not going to show you what those are. But just a few things we need to talk about before. Stampin' Up! Has come out with some new things. And so don't forget to shop the online exclusives. The, what am I trying to say? The, where's my sheet? The online exclusives are the way that Stampin' Up! Gets to bring you new product all throughout the year without having to set up a new catalog, which takes about 2 years to get going. So check out the online exclusives. Some new things are coming up, available in September. Right now, the sale for the new in colors that were introduced this catalog. You need to go to the Happening Now and go to the drop down menu. And in there it says in color 2025 to 2027, in color 15% off sale. Check those out because there's a lot of things that you might not think of that would be on sale. And they are products that are in the annual catalog and not in the online exclusives. One of the things that is on sale that you probably may not think of is designer series paper. So if it's in the catalog and it has Timid Tiger, Strawberry Slush, Secret Sea, Darling Duckling, Cloud Cover, those colors those designer series papers are going to be 15% off. So it's a great time right now, and it's through the end of the month. So check those out. Just wanted to show you a new kit that's coming out, and it is the Harvest Home Garland, and these acorns are about that big. If I can, I've not seen them in person. I have to get mine ordered, but that is a really cool set. This one's called Bunch of Thanks Kit. Now this kit was introduced, and it is kind of like a fun fold, okay? And it comes with envelopes. And then this one is the Brighten Your Day, and it's inspired by nature, and they are beautiful, organic, delicate overlays in pastel colors. And so this one's a flower, this one is a bird, and this one is a fern. So you get, it's an all-inclusive kit, and it comes with the words that are die cut, and it comes with the adhesives and some type of twine. Don't forget to check out the Halloween, which is going to be in the online store only. And the kits that were introduced in July featured the Sweet and Spooky kit, and the also the Christmas one with the really cool, this one, I forget what the name is called, but I wanted to have this one. This is the other kit. There we go. That is the Birthday Fancy Kit. So again, if you are learning how to paper craft, these kits are wonderful to get, and they also are great so that you could give them to a non-paper crafter and let them have fun putting them together. Again, the last chance list has been updated with new products that have been slated to not return. So while supplies last, products have been discounted up to 60%. So check those out. All right, so let me show you the things that we're going to be using tonight. And you're going to be excited because, like I said, this is a stunning card. And you're going to want to win it. Okay, so I used the Color Coach, and it told me that the three colors that I was looking to play with was Pretty in Pink, Berry Burst, and Soft Seafoam. Those three colors are on the Color Coach that coordinate with each other. So I wanted to use the Pretty in Pink paper, and I'm going to show this to you in just a moment, but let's just show you squirrel. I'm just getting all over the place. We're going to just put this back for a second and show you the product that we're working with. We're going to be using the Coneflower Celebrations and dies. As you can tell, there's only one die that is not being used. And so when you purchase a bundle, so that would be the dies and the stamp set, or the dies, or the stamp set and a punch, you save 10%. So we're going to be using that. It's in the annual catalog on page 82. Then we're also using the Dotted Circles 3D embossing folder. It is on page 109 in the annual catalog. And then we're also using the Stylish Shapes. I hope these never retire. I think that these will probably stay in my stash if they do ever retire. But I'm not for sure on that, just because I don't have all that space. Okay, so we're using those things, and I got to keep this available. All right, then let me show you the Designer Series paper. Well, I should say we're playing with the Floral Gardens foil, and it's a specialty paper. It's an online exclusive, and so you get Cloud Cover, Pretty in Pink, and Strawberry Slush, and you get one color in each design here. So you get 2 sheets, 2 sheets, and 2 sheets. So we're going to be playing with the pretty in pink, and we're going to be playing with the, I want to say it's almost like a plaid. Very pretty. And now we're going to be using some of that, but kind of in a different way that's intended. I like to do that, show you different ways to use product that you already own. Here are the dies, and I wanted to show you my cheat sheet just because you may not know what things do. So the stamp stamps that, and then it has a die that cuts it out. So either A, you can lop it off at the top right there and have a stamped image, or you can fold it over and then have like a mini card. And I have done that many times in my Facebook Lives. Now, these are stamped images all right here. And then everything else here is bonus. So that is how the dies. Carolyn, you finally made it. I miss you, my friend. Happy belated birthday in person. Well, technically in voice, I should say. But let me show you the measurements and the colors we're going to be playing with. So this is soft sea foam, which is, we're going to need 2 of these. And these are actually scraps, and they are 3 3/4 by 1. I am so happy, Carolyn. I miss you. This is a piece of basic white. It is a scrap as well. It is 2 by 1. And a piece of basic white, which is 1 3/4 by 2 1/4. Then this is pecan pie. It's a scrap. It is 1 3/4 by 1. I have a 1/2 inch piece. What I did with this particular piece is I laid it on here and then went snip, because this is like a tad bit around 4 inches, just a tad bit over, so like maybe a 4 1/8. So I did it that way. Let's put that there. Okay, so the flower foil paper, which is pretty in pink, is 4 by 2. And we have Berry Burst, which is 4 by 2 1/2. We have 2 of the floral, what do you call it? It's kind of like a plaid. So 1 1/2 by 4, we got 2 of those. And then we have this is the card. I just want you to be able to see it. It is 11 inches by 4 1/4. Okay, so this is a 1/2 sheet of cardstock. And then we're going to cut off 1 3/4 off at each side. And then I'll show you what that means. So then we have a piece of the inside, which is our inside panel, and it's basic white, so it's 4 5 1/4. All right, so let's put that. I try to make it so that you can come back and pause and then recreate this card if you want to. And that way you have all the measurements. So you may not have the foil paper, but maybe you have a designer series paper that you like. Maybe you do not have the the Coneflower celebrations. Maybe I'm going to make you buy it now because this is such a cool card. All right, peeps, I'm going to just take a drink of my pink lemonade, shake this up, and we'll get going. So for you, Carolyn, because I know you didn't catch it, this is the Facebook Live that we're going to recreate. I believe this was also a in-person event, and this was number 14. So we're going to recreate that, and Oh yeah, we're going to be doing some coloring. I forgot. We should take those blends out. So what I did is I took the colors in the blends, and I basically have all the blends in all the colors, and I swatched them. And what that means is that everything, this is light, this is dark, light, dark, light, dark. And this is Berry Burst, Pretty in Pink, and Soft Seafoam. So if you were to look at the colors here, I think that the nib tip and the brush tip look about the same in color. Over in the Pretty in Pink, the dark pink, I think that in my eye, the nib tip actually might be darker. And I think, again, the nib tip might be darker. But sometimes the brush tip, sorry, these are brushes, and this is the nib tip, the bullet tip. And I leave it the same way in my, this is actually the lid to my container. So that's how I do it, is I want to see what colors do what, because sometimes the bullet tip is darker than the brush. Sometimes the brush is darker than the, and maybe the light sometimes is darker than the dark. So it really all depends on where you are in the life of, you remember that card? Yes, you are a lifetime groupie, but you're an even better lifetime friend. So let's put that aside over here, and we can actually start doing stuff. So we're going to take all the little pieces off, and this is my garbage can, and I designed this card yesterday, and all my cards for the stamp camp have been designed as well, coming up in 2 weeks, so I'm excited about that. I finished that today. All right, so we're gonna pair up. These are all the dies that we're gonna be doing, okay? So what we're gonna do, what I'm gonna do is I'm gonna pair up the dies. So this die right here is gonna cut this out, but we're not gonna use the foil part, so that's the reason why I can use this scrap. So that's where that is. And then we're going to stamp on that and then cut it out. So we might as well do that right, well actually let's put this one over, so that is the center. And these leaves, so we're going to do, actually I paired up the wrong one. There we go. Those go together, these go together. All right. So, and then this is going to go, this is a scrap piece right here. I didn't cut it off. It was just longer, and I did cut it. And so don't throw your things away. Save them. All right. So this we're going to stamp on and die cut it. This we're going to stamp on and die cut it. We're going to stamp and die cut that as well. And this is going to be the inside of our card. So we're just going to leave that sit up there for just a moment until we get everything situated. All right. Let's see here. Let's move that over. So like I said, we're going to take this and I'm going to stamp that images right there. And these are not going to really do anything until we get going. So what we're going to do is we're going to take this and we're going to line this up. So I'm going to just grab my paper trimmer. If I wasn't doing a Facebook Live, I would be doing my guillotine cutter. But what I'm going to do is I'm going to line up the fold at 1 3/4. Right there. I really actually don't like it like this. I wish that when I would want 1 3/4 that it would go all the way up and I would see it down here much better. So we're going to cut that, and then, so that's going to go like that, and then we're going to line this up. There goes my scoring tool. And then there we go, 1 3/4. This piece is we're going to save, okay? And so this piece is going to go down here, and it's the same as the top, okay? All right, let me pick up my scoring tool before our cat finds it and smacks it. It falls out because the little hooky things on the side broke off. I just haven't ordered a new one. But so that is how I did that. So 1/3 off of each side. And then we're going to take the silicone mat and add our adhesive to the back side. Right there. And I have a tendency to overlap, so I like to use my silicone mat so then it prevents me from getting sticky stuff on my glass mat, and then I might accidentally set something in there and that would really tick me off. All right, so we're just going to put that right there. And then we're going to do the same thing for the bottom. Okay, so now we're going to just set that aside and start stamping stuff. And we're going to put my silicone mat back so I can find it later, because I have a hard time finding things with all this stuff sitting on my desk. I'm going to grab the Stampin' Pearson mat. And that way, let's just put those right up there. So we're going to stamp stuff, and we're going to grab the Memento, because we're going to use blends. And when you use blends, you want to use Memento ink. All right, so let's just separate all our stamps so I know where everything is. All right, so we're going to stamp the thank you. And that is going to go right there. All right. And that's going to get die cut with this piece. So that's going to go over here. This is the butterfly. And we're going to stamp that right there. And then this is going to go on the inside of the we're going to put this greeting, "You've made my day," right there. All right, so then the Memento ink is done for now, and we're just going to kind of sit this back over there. We're going to grab the Berry Burst, and we're going to take this Coneflower and we're going to do color on color. So this is Berry Burst ink on Berry Burst cardstock. I mean, and if you wanted to, you could just leave it like that and no coloring is required if you wanted to do it that way. And we're going to close this up for now. We'll need it in just a little bit. Okay, so then we're going to take this piece here. Now what I did is I took a Sharpie and I labeled it on the side that I need to cut with, because it cuts out exactly right there. This piece does not. It coordinates with the back side. So like if you were to do it backwards, yes, it would coordinate. But now we're just doing this flower, and so that is going to go there. Okay, so shall we get out, I think we're going to not color yet. We're going to grab the Stamp Cut Emboss machine and okay, so the first thing that we're going to do is take the 2 and the 3 cutting plates, and we're going to put those off to the side for just a moment, because we're going to use the 3D embossing folder. And that is going to be on this piece, and the top part with the logo is the top side. So I actually want the embossed side facing up. This is where the bumps stand up. This side is upside down, so this is the debossed side. So we're going to take this. The hinge always goes towards the rollers, and then we're going to put plate number 4 on top and then wire or roll that through. Sorry for the shaking of the camera. And we're going to put that off to the side because we're not going to need that anymore. And I mean, the detail off this folder is pretty, the texture is just amazing because it's so bubbly. There we go. Perfect. All right, so we're going to put that off to the side. And let's see here. We're going to grab the, this is the part 2. This is the plate 2. And then we're going to have the cutting plate. And then so we're going to cut off this piece. And I'm going to put that all the way up as far as we can go. And there is one post-it note. And then we're going to put that over here. We're going to try to fit as much stuff on here as we can. And if we need to go another round, then that's okay. All right, so this is the thank you. And just grabbing a post-it note, because I'm going to try to make it so that nothing gets out of whack. All right, and the circles. This actually has been used a couple times, so I'm going to bend that so it's more straight. And all the way over. There we go. Oops. Attach that to both sides so it's not moving. Okay. And then we'll do some leaves with our soft seafoam. And I think we can do the center of the flower. That can go in there. And we could probably do, now we'll just let that go. I think we got enough on here. And we can go one more round. All right, so we'll just hold that and pray that everything stayed. Okay. And then now I went through one, so I'm going to flip it over. I always flip-flop. No, 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 that moved. Dang nabbit. Well, guess what? We have extra. Gosh darn it. We have extra weight. Believe me. Grab my people poker to poke that out. I'll just make a pile of stuff that we're done with, and then put that back on the magnet. And I reuse my Post-it notes, and all right, now my pink little dots. Isn't that pretty? All right, then this cuts this out. When I saw this in the catalog, I was like, that's the first thing that was on my wish list. And oops, that one's done, so we can put that back. And we're going to snip this off. I mean, it doesn't really matter because we're going to snip some of it off anyways, because I want to make sure that we don't see the color behind it. All right, then these leaves are done, so we'll put these off to the side over here. And as well take the people poker and get all that out. So that'll go into that pile. And I'll grab my Pampered Chef scraper and then scrape that off. All right, so seeing as how that was one time, we're gonna go, I flipped this plate over because I always change them. Let's see, trash is not getting in the trash bin. All right, so I need to grab a piece of white. So this is how I have my scraps stored. So I just need to grab something like that big. That is the only thing that is like that. All my other scraps are just mishmashed. My white is the most that I have. Done. So all right, so we're going to stamp thank you. Okay, let's hope that I don't have to do this a third time, but that's okay. You know, live paper crafting. All right, so there we go. And we're going to grab our Post-it notes. And we're going to double whack that one because it's not moving this time. All right, I'm going to go there, and we're going to go there. The little puppy's not moving. And then this one, okay, like I said, we don't care about the top part, so we're just going to use these just to keep it, again, from shifting, and then our leaves. So this will be it after we're done putting that through for our crafting, our Stampin' Cut and Boss machine. All right, so there we go. This one shifted just a tad bit. Let's see, can this get in there? There we go. I'm holding that. So no more movement. Oh my goodness. Okay, so those are done. That turned out nicely. And then grab the leaves. And we'll just poke those out. The dies just are so nice. They just cut everything out so nicely. All right. And that little puppy went through perfectly. Yay. I'll put that die back. And this one. That went through just beautifully as well. All right, so we're just gonna take that, throw that away, and then we'll take the people poker and poke through. So our foil. Isn't that pretty? Now, because this was embossed foil, we put it through, and now it's just textured because going through kind of squished the flowers. However, that is okay because it gave the texture that I wanted for the overlay, and we're going to do something else with that we're not intended to do. Okay, so we got everything cut. We're ready to go. So we're just going to put this away. Grab that Post-it note. Okay, so we're going to take that and we're going to take the dark Berry Burst Stamp and Blend, and we're just going to cover that. Isn't that pretty? Dawn! Hi, Dawn. Welcome. Okay, so that you could see is the foil, and we colored it with the Berry Burst. Now, I didn't color everything. There's a little tint of pink showing through the petal pink, but that is going to be pretty cool with that. Okay, now we're going to grab this piece and the Berry Burst and a brush. How you doing, Dawn? Welcome. All right, so we're going to take this here and we're going to hold on to it because we're using, this is pecan pie, because we're using Berry Burst. I wanted to give the pecan pie a little color and just kind of tap it on the inside so it's not so stark brown, okay? And so that looks beautiful, and we're not done with that yet. Okay, so I think, whoa. So let's get our flower put together. So here is the Berry Burst Coneflower, and here is the piece that we colored with the blends. And so we're just going to curl that with our bone folder to give it a little bit of extra movement. And we're also going to take a little bit of that ink that was on there and just kind of give it a little shading. And you may not see that a little bit. Well, there's really not a lot. We'll just grab some more color just at the top. so that you could see a little bit of the darkness and then a little bit of the light. Okay, so there we go. And then close that up. So we're going to put this piece on it. We're going to push down, and then we're going to cut off a little tiny bit off the corners from here to there, and then a little bit off the top, because I don't want any of the other colors peeking through this piece. So that is going to go on there like that. And then we're going to put that on with dimensionals. So I'm going to grab my take your pick tool and use the people poker to grab my dimensionals. So we're going to put, whoops, one there and one there. And we're going to stab and grab those backings, throw them away. And then we're going to put that on top. I mean, who would not love that coneflower to be part of their celebration? All right, so actually we're doing a thank you card because I've actually done surgery on this. This one here says happy belated birthday. So what I did is I actually cut that in half so I could do happy birthday, happy belated birthday. That way I can not have to worry about, I could butt those two up and make it belated, but then I can also stamp those right together. Yeah, it is shiny. Here, you want to see a little bit more shine? Make a Stella. So when you color the Make a Stella on here, it takes that and kind of blends it in. I mean, like, now that's shiny. And then there's a little ink on there, so just swipe it off to make sure that it is not gonna discolor anything later on. All right, so we have our thank you. And we have our leaves. So what I'm going to do is we're done. Let's see, we're done stamping for now. We're going to use this in just a moment when we color our butterfly. But we're going to put the leaves together. That was just, so let's see. That leaf gets paired with this leaf. And so I'm going to flip that over, and then this leaf gets paired with this leaf. So I'm going to flip that over. So I'm going to grab my glue and my special little shiny ball that says joy on it. That is from my friend Carolyn. And we're just going to do little dots on here, because we don't want them to squish out. And we're just doing tone on tone. So this is Soft Sea Foam and Berry Burst and Petal Pink. Sorry, Pretty in Pink. Those were the colors that the color coach said work together. All right, so let's grab this and grab it where the glue is not, and allow that to sit on there nicely. Get a little pressure there for a few seconds. Our glue is wonderful. It's sticky and messy if you overdo it. If you don't overdo it, it is a wonderful thing to have. All right, so we'll just let that sit for a second. Okay, so then There we go. Then this thing goes on the bottom of the inside of our card. So we're going to do the same thing with the glue. And we're just going to hit the dots. And I'm just going to put a dot there and a line. Kind of decorate the inside of the card with the same feeling as the front of the card. All right, so we're going to take that and flip that over. What is that? I think that might be Winkostella. All right, and we're going to put that right there. You got a few seconds of wiggle room. All right. Gosh darn it, what is that? We don't know. All right, so then I have the speckles that go in with this stamp set. And this is soft seafoam. And we're just going to kind of put that in there like that. And we're going to close that up. All right, so now we're going to just wash my stamps for just a moment. And the photopolymer likes to, on some of the colors, they like to stain. So I like to keep the ink off, or I like to get the ink off as soon as possible. And you can see that this one is very well loved, my Coneflower. And I used to have purple Coneflower, and I had yellow black-eyed Susans, and then I had kind of like a coral color Coneflower, and that one started coming up as we sold the house, so I didn't get to see that all that much, but you know what? I am fine with that. All right, so we're going to take this and we're going to put this on the inside of the card. I have not had to weed 12 gardens on my days off when it's so freaking hot outside. I get to sit on my deck and watch the birds, and I get to be a happy camper. So I am excited to be here. All right, so we're going to put that on the inside of the card, just like that. And we're going to put this down like that. And I think we are done using the silicone mat for now, so we can get that off there. This piece of cardstock, you know what? I'm supposed to have another pink piece of cardstock. And I accidentally, this was supposed to be, I need to cut another piece of cardstock. And I'm going to cut this one. Gosh darn it. All right, pretty in pink. So this is where my cardstock is for, this is Subtles, and I have 2 containers. They go in alphabetical order. So then I need a piece, no, wrong one. I was thinking pretty in pink, or color pink. I need pretty in pink. So this is my in color one. And I don't think I have enough color. Nope, it's not long enough. This is the only one that the 2 in colors, those are the only ones that are kind of mishmashed. And I labeled them on top And then I label them on the inside, on the corners, or on the end so I can see what it is. And, all right, I need to cut a piece. And let's see here. What is it supposed to be? Okay, so this is 2 by 4 1/4. So now I need to make this much better. There we go. Sorry for the delay on that. That is what's supposed to be. So this piece is 2 by 4 1/4. This piece is 1 3/4 by 4. And so we're going to take this one and grab that silicone mat again because I overshoot my glue. Sherry, hi, welcome. Okay, so now we have that, and so now we're going to, well, yeah, we're going to leave that out just in case, because I can get a little happy. Okay, so we're going to take this, go like that, and this is going to go on here, okay? So I need to make sure that I put enough glue on here to hold it, but not so that it's peeking through. And so we're going to put that equidistant somewhat at the top and the bottom. So we don't see anything there, so that's good. So then now we're going to put the same amount of adhesive, just 2 lines. Oops, and I did go overshoot. I did that on the wrong, I'm supposed to do that on this. Okay, so then now we're going to line that up so that it is perfect down there in the corner. And there we go. That. Okay, so then we're going to take that. See, this is crooked. I got to put this on there better. Move that just a slight. I think that's better. Okay, cool. All right, so then we're going to put these on here, but we're going to go color next. So we're going to grab the Stampin' Pearson mat again, and I am actually going to color, but I'm going to sit down. So if anybody new comes in, say hi to them. I'm going to take a drink of my pink lemonade. Okay. All right. So that's our flower by. And here are my, I'll put this over to the side here because I want to show you my coloring. Am I in camera? I gotta stand up and look. Okay, so I'm coloring there, and then my colors are right there. Okay, I think you guys can all see that, right? Okay. So this is the butterfly, And so as I was explaining in the earlier, this is light, dark, light, dark, light, dark. And then the bullet tip and then the brush tip. And so what I do with that is it helps me realize which one's darker, which one's lighter. To me, the brush tip on the Pretty in Pink is darker than the bullet, and then the bullet tip is darker than the brush. And actually, that sitting here closer, the bullet tip on the dark is actually brighter as well. So that's why I do this, so that I can see what colors look like. And I am going to take the lightest color of the soft seafoam, which happens to be the brush in the light, and I'm going to color the whole butterfly in that color, except for the body part. And I stamped this thing probably like 10-15 times just to see how I liked the color that it, took. All right, so then I'm going to do the dark nib tip and go for the body. And then I am going to do a little bit of the bullet tip, and then I am going to take the brush and I am going to color over that. So it's going to kind of blend in there. And that was the dark. And then now I am going to go and do the bullet tip of the dark and going into the soft seafoam. And then I'm going to do the light blending with that at the tips. And I'm going to go back into the nib tip and blend those in together. All right. And that is the coloring, the shading of my butterfly. So we're going to take that and cut that out. Might as well just grab the little Stampin' Cut Emboss machine, because it's only a little, it's a very well loved Stampin' Cut Emboss machine, because the top plate is getting cracks and the bottom plate is gonna split in two. I do have another set waiting for me, but it still works, and I am not going to get rid of it anytime soon until something breaks. All right, now we're going to grab the butterfly and cut that out. And I forgot to grab the Post-it notes. All right. And we're going to just roll that right on through. Done. I told you it's like 15 different times that I did this butterfly. I should show you all my wasted ones. But yeah, it takes practice, and you just stamp a bunch of images and then just color. And once you put the Wink of Stella on that little baby's going to shine. All right, so we're going to get rid of the Stampin' Cut Emboss machine, the little guy. So we use the big guy and the little guy. And if you have issues with them bowing, put them in like this and let them hang out like that. And that will help. But like I said, I like to, flip mine and turn it over and then flip it every time I use it. And that's just the way I am. Okay, so we're going to put dimensionals on this here. And we're going to grab, again, the People Poker off the Take Your Pick tool. And so I'm going to put this at an angle, kind of like that. And so I want to know where to put it. So that is going to go 2 on there. And then take the backings off yet. And so we don't want it to go over the card layer, but we want to go kind of about right there. But we don't want to put it too close down to the bottom because we're going to put our leaves on, and I want to add the leaves while it's on there. So we're stabbing and grabbing those backings, and then we're going to throw those little puppies away. And that is going to go just like that. And then we'll push that down on the other ones. And then we're going to grab that silicone mat. And we're going to put adhesive right at the end. And it's going to go right there. And then we're going to take a dimensional and flip that up so that it flies. And then we're going to put this under here and that under there like that. So we're going to put adhesive on both sides there. In there, and then there we go, and then we're going to put a little bit. I'm actually just going to put 1 right in the center. Well, no, I'll put 2 in the center because then it's evenly sitting between the leaves. Stab and grab those backings. Right. All right. Do. And so we're going to use the Wink of Stella, and we're going towards the center because we're doing the lighter part first, and then we'll do the dark. Ooh, look at that. And I missed a spot. Shine, baby, shine. Okay, oops, there's a little bit there too. All right, Then we're going to clear that off. And I always say this, I meant to just do the outline before I glued them on, but that's okay. We'll just do it. There we go. A little bit there, a little bit there. Okay, so what do you think about that card? Not done yet. We are going to use, now on the original card, you know, I actually had this a little bit more up on the original card, but that's okay. The butterfly is still, you know, you can still see it. Now I used the really light colors. I'm actually going to use the other shade, this green, because I think that if you were to put that on the pink, it might, this is from the Turtley Sweet, the Turtle Sweet. I really did not care for those turtles. And I'm not going to explain why. But I think maybe the green looks a little more green because I'm using the darker color. And then we're going to use this one right there, because they look different on the pink and this pink than they, you know, look when they're against white. So I thought maybe the darker color might look a little bit more green-like. So what do you think about this card? Was I right when I said this was an absolutely gorgeous card? All right. I'm going to get that in there. Right, so this is the original card, and so you could see the lighter color. I think the darker color shows up just a little bit better. Thanks, guys, very much. So, that is the card, and that is the inside. Okay, so if you want a chance to win this card, once I get some, you know, spending money and buy stamps, I will be able to do that. I still have been getting names and their things together so that you know, I'll pick the winners and I'll put the name on. So I'm still doing that. It's just that to be able to afford the stamps right now to get everything mailed, yeah. All right, so if you want to get a chance to win this beautiful card, do a thumbs up or a heart that gets your name entered. Then leave a comment. All you have to do is say hi if you're new to my channel. And if you share this with someone on your timeline, number one, you're helping me get my name out there. And number two, you might be, thank you, Color Coach said to use that. Yes, the color wheel also would be a good thing to do too. So there might be a paper crafter that maybe hasn't felt crafty, and maybe seeing this video might inspire them to, you know what? Make a card and then mail a card and then make someone stay. That is what I'm about, is spreading a little smile through the postal system. You know what? Let them know that somebody is thinking of you. So do that and you get 2 extra winners, or 2 entered drawings to get entered to win. So I want to say thank you very much for hanging out with me on a Sunday evening. I appreciate it when you guys make it so I'm not talking to myself. I really am, but you at least get to see it. So, and then, you know, placing your orders and then doing the thumbs up. I love all that. I just gives me a big, warm, fluffy smile. So thanks, guys. I hopefully will be back on Thursday. And I don't know if I have anything going on this week that will interfere, but you never know. So again, thanks guys for hanging out with me on a Sunday evening. I look forward to seeing you next time. Take care and happy stamping.